Hello, Kentucky. I was wrong. Man, I thought Travis Perry would stay at Kentucky, just like Kriisa, but where will this guy land now? There are some strong competitors. I would bet on Ole Mississippi. Let's analyze. Travis Perry's departure from the Kentucky Wildcats is a chapter that deserves to be analyzed carefully, especially when considering the impact that this decision can have on both the player and the Wildcats program. Perry's choice to forego a continued opportunity in Lexington, under the tutelage of Coach Mark Pope, certainly raises questions about the direction of his college career and the weight of this decision in his trajectory as an athlete. First of all, it is undeniable that Perry lost a lot by not staying at Kentucky. Despite his modest performance as a freshman, averaging 2.7 points and 9.7 minutes per game, he had moments when he was a crucial part of the team, especially during the most turbulent stretches of the season, when injuries affected the depth of the roster. Without Lamont Butler, Kriisa, and Jackson Robinson, Perry was called upon to fill important voids and demonstrated resilience, even if his statistics did not reflect all the value he brought to the court. Now, by leaving the Wildcats, he is giving up a competitive structure that could have helped him grow even more. Kentucky basketball, known for molding talent and preparing them for the biggest stages of college and professional basketball, offered Perry the chance to develop his skills in a high-pressure, high-exposure environment that few programs in the country can provide. In addition, the presence of Mark Pope as head coach is a factor that amplifies the weight of Perry's decision. Pope has demonstrated a unique ability to revitalize programs and adapt to the individual needs of his players. His playing philosophy, which emphasizes versatility and offensive creativity, could have been the catalyst for Perry to develop as a point guard and find more space in the rotation. Instead, he opted to seek new horizons, possibly at Ole Miss, where Coach Chris Beard is building an ambitious SEC project. While a move to Oxford may seem appealing at first glance, it's worth asking, does Ole Miss offer the same platform and visibility that Kentucky could provide? On the other hand, Perry's decision also reflects a troubling trend in college basketball today: the relentless pursuit of minutes and immediate prominence, often at the expense of long-term development. It's understandable that a player as talented as Perry, who was once Kentucky's all-time high school scorer, would want a more prominent role in his next stop. But by opting out of a program with a Wildcats tradition and resources, he risks trading institutional excellence for a less stable situation. Ole Miss, despite its ambitions, is still in the midst of a rebuild under Beard, and the competitiveness of the SEC is unlikely to guarantee Perry the prominence he seeks. Another critical issue is the fierce competition Perry will face regardless of his final choice. Maryland, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and other programs are all eyeing the young point guard, which shows how coveted he is on the transfer market. However, it also means he will be entering a highly competitive environment where he will need to quickly prove himself to earn a spot. At Kentucky, he had already begun to build his identity within the program, albeit gradually. Now, as he starts over elsewhere, Perry will have to deal with the pressure of justifying his decision and showing that it was the best for his career. It is impossible to ignore the emotional and regional impact that Perry's departure represents. As a native of Eddyville, Kentucky, he had the opportunity to become a local icon, someone who represented the state on one of the biggest college sports franchises in the world. By leaving the Wildcats, he loses that special connection to his hometown and the fans who have supported him since the beginning of his journey. Not only does this diminish his symbolic relevance, but it also deprives Kentucky of a player who could have become a central figure in rebuilding the program. As Travis Perry looks for his next destination, with Ole Miss currently the favorite, it's clear that his departure from Kentucky is a risky move. He's giving up a solid structure, a promising coach, and an opportunity to grow within an elite program. Now I wonder who will take that opportunity in Perry's place. College football is a bridge to bigger dreams. And for Dumas Johnson, that bridge now leads him to the Green Bay Packers. After a career marked by challenges, achievements, and a journey that included two important stops on the college football map, Georgia and Kentucky, the linebacker is about to face the next chapter of his journey in the NFL. Although he didn't hear his name called during the 2025 NFL Draft, JDJ found his way to one of the most traditional teams in the league, the Packers, a franchise looking to reaffirm its position among the NFC giants. Dumas Johnson arrived at Kentucky as a seasoned player, bringing with him the weight of two national titles won during his time with the Georgia Bulldogs. His transfer to Lexington came with high expectations, and he did not disappoint. In his only season as a Wildcat, he demonstrated leadership and consistency, leading the team in tackles with 67 throughout the campaign, an average of more than 6 per game. That record placed him among the best in the SEC, a conference known for its competitiveness and high level of skill. He also brought invaluable experience to the locker room, something that proved crucial for a team that faced some of the most powerful offenses in the country. A defining moment of his time at Kentucky came in his defensive debut as a Wildcat. Against Southern Miss, Dumas Johnson threw just his second career interception, a play that set up a touchdown and helped cement his presence in the team's defensive scheme. That kind of immediate impact is rare, especially for a recent transfer, but JDJ has always known how to step up when needed. However, like any athlete trying to transition to the NFL, Dumas Johnson enters the professional ranks surrounded by questions. Analysts point to inconsistencies on his 2024 tape, particularly his read and react efficiency, as well as difficulties handling square blocks and covering wide spaces from sideline to sideline. NFL.com analyst Lance Zierlein was blunt in his assessment of his shortcomings. Decent production inside linebacker, but clearly lacking consistency. Despite that, Zierlein also acknowledged positive attributes, such as Dumas Johnson's tactical awareness and ability to track plays near the line of scrimmage, skills that could prove crucial for teams looking for depth at specific positions. The reality is that the NFL is a cutthroat environment where opportunities are scarce and the level of competition is brutal. For a player like Dumas Johnson, who went undrafted, the path to establishing himself on a roster may be on special teams, an often overlooked area, but essential for young athletes who need to prove themselves. If he can excel in that role, it could open the door to more significant minutes on the defensive end. While his time at Kentucky was brief, he left a lasting impression. He was more than just a transfer player. He was a leader, an example of resilience and dedication to his teammates. His story is also a reflection of the growing role that programs like Kentucky play on the national stage, serving as platforms for players seeking fresh starts and opportunities to shine. Now, as he joins the Green Bay Packers, Dumas Johnson faces a monumental challenge. The Packers are in a period of rebuilding and renewal, and his ability to integrate complementary pieces like JDJ will be crucial to the team's success. For Kentucky fans, following his NFL journey will be a way to celebrate the connections the program continues to build with professional football. I can't wait to see how this guy succeeds in the NFL. Let me know.